Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans Review this fine Sunday morning. Sunday morning, up the lark. Game day. Game day. Celtic travel to Kilmarnock today. Early one for the troops, setting off. Kilmarnock away is always a fantastic game, even better now that it's back on a grass pitch. Now, the one thing is for sure is it could be goals galore today, because in the last game, Kilmarnock, not only did Kilmarnock score 3 goals, they actually conceded 4 goals. So the defence isn't that great, but the fact that they scored 3 goals, is that a warning shot to Celtic this Sunday morning? I need to put the table up a bit. There we go. Didn't have the table at the right height this morning. These all electric tables, Put it down a little pad. Anyway, Celtic have a little bit of a dilemma. What formation will Celtic play? And will Martin O'Neill, did Martin O'Neill even travel to the hotel last night? Nobody knows. It hasn't really came out, has it? And will Martin O'Neill be at the game today? If he's not at the hotel with the team, will he turn up this morning? And will he be in the dugout, or will he just be recuperating after his minor operation in hospital? It looks like that we're going to have a bit of a formation change this season. Jed Johnson says good morning. Good morning to everyone else in the chat. Johnny Kenny. News came out yesterday that Johnny Kenny has been told that he's going to stay at Celtic. Now, for Johnny Kenny, that's absolutely fantastic news, because I think that Johnny Kenny is the type of player that can score goals. He was in an unfortunate position last season. If you ask me, Johnny Kenny was made the number 1 striker when he wasn't ready to be number 1 striker at Celtic. And let's face it, even Kyogo Furiashi wouldn't have got the service. Daizen Maeda wasn't getting the service from the strikers, from the wingers. So it was a bit of a shit show. Johnny Kenny had a decent second half of the season at Bolton. He laid off a couple of cracking goals. He scored a couple of cracking goals. He was well thought of at Bolton, but injury saw the end of his season come to a quick conclusion. Well, I think it was about 2 or 3 games to go, wasn't it? But anyway, what it does mean, I think that Celtic are going to be playing 2 strikers. The fact that Johnny Kenny's been told he's not going, the fact that we have Callum Osmond, the fact that we have Camilo Duran, and the fact that we have our new wonder striker. It looks like that Celtic at some point in the season will revert to maybe a 4-4-2. Maybe Martin O'Neill will go back to his old precious 3-5-2 in the SPFL and then change to a 4-4-2 in the Champions League. What do you think of that? You need to strengthen it up in the Champions League, and maybe that's what Martin O'Neill was thinking. You know, I want to have flexibility within the squad. I don't think Martin O'Neill really likes having just the 1 striker in the box, especially if that striker is misfiring. You know, as Casper Who did. And anyway, I think it's looking good for the season. Striker-wise, we still need in a number of players. We all know this. But the fact that Johnny Kenny's been told that he's not going anywhere, the 23-year-old Irish striker was loaned out last season. Johnny Kenny's in the squad. He's got a fantastic future in front of him. And it'll be interesting to see what the line-up is today. I will be going live in around about 2 hours' time for the line-up for today's game. There's no watch on today because I don't think it's an important game. Celtic are currently sitting 3rd in the SPFL this morning. There's only a couple of games played yesterday. When you look at the fact that St Mirren, top of the table, St Mirren, with a goal difference of 3. So Celtic just need to win by a couple of goals today and they'll go top of the table already. And then look at that. Oh, look at the table. It looks nice this morning on the table, doesn't it? St Mirren top of the table. Dundee, who've played 2 games, also sitting on 3 points. Motherwell sitting on 3 points after their 1 game. Celtic sitting on 3 points after their 1 game. St Johnstone sitting on 3 points after their 2 games. But they have a worse goal difference. They've got a goal difference of 0 because they've had 4 goals against and 4 goals for already. St Johnstone are going to be the whipping boys this season, aren't they? Wait and see. Aberdeen, after 2 games, they are on 3 points with a goal difference of -1. And did they lose yesterday? Jeez, they must have lost yesterday, didn't they? Yes, to Dundee. After getting that win at home and then going to Dundee and getting beat. Jesus, what is wrong with Aberdeen? Dundee United are sitting in 7th position on 1 point. And then the Rangers, the newest club in the SPFL, historically wise. I mean, we know that St Johnstone came up, but the Rangers are a new club that were born in 2012. Hearts of Midlothian are sitting in 10th position. And Kilmarnock are in 9th position. We forgot about them because we're playing them today. And they're sitting on a goal difference of -1 after their opening game, getting beat 4-3. Hibernian are sitting second bottom, where you could see them struggling this season, sitting on 0 points, and Falkirk are on 0 points also. Be an interesting one for Falkirk this season to see if they can maintain what they did last season. It's all about maintaining for Falkirk, isn't it? It's not about achieving big things and getting away up the top of the league. A club Falkirk size is just about maintaining. Anyway, that is the league table as it stands just now. There are some fixtures on today, as well as the Celtic game, Celtic Kilmarnock. These are European times. Celtic Kilmarnock, Hearts versus Dundee United, Motherwell versus Falkirk, and then finishing off the day. Let's hope that Hibs do get their first win of the season. Anyway, right, let's jump into the comments. What do you think that the score prediction will be today? Will we do a score? Dundee 2-0. Dundee 2-0. Yeah, I noticed that. Dundee look good this season. Celtic Sunday, waiting for the 10 shop. Just jump. Hibs will beat Sevco. Could Kenny be used behind the 2 strikers? Maybe. No, it looks like that. If anything, I mean, could you use Callum Osmond as a winger? Could you use Johnny Kenny behind the strikers in a midfield? In a midfield 5 or something? I mean, the 2 of them are good players, but I think that if anything, Martin O'Neill will be looking at a 3-5-2 or a 4-5. But you never know. He maybe go for what we did last season, the 4-2-3-1 formation, which means that you're going to have 2. Man, that's not going to work, is it? Because then where do you put Johnny Kenny? And when we look at the wingers that we do have, anyway, that's up to Martin O'Neill, and he's made his decision that Johnny Kenny is going nowhere. 2 signings in 8 weeks is a shocking, says Stephen. We have only 4 weeks left in the window. Surely after this window, Nicholson will be relieved of his duties. No, he won't. Of course he won't, Stephen. He's the whipping boy for... He's the yes man. It was interesting because I was looking at the Celts for Change have resurrected. Not that they ever went away. They didn't die like the Rangers. They just felt that there was nothing really needed at Celtic. But back in 2021, they resurrected their Twitter. And over the last week or so, they have been they're starting to put a bit of pressure. And I think it's weird that we have an organisation that was prominent all those years ago. Prominent in pushing for change at Celtic. They knew that it wasn't going to come within, but they had contacts. But when you look at the fact that Celts for Change are starting to be more vocal on social media, Paul Larkin, yeah, he's a fantastic Celtic writer, and he is very anti-board also. Celtic Business Club PLC is owned by Dermot Desmond, and the only deadlines are business deadlines. Every deal has to be won, and that's all that matters. Customers, fans don't count. They are just part of the cash flow, says Celts for Change. Is there a concerted effort behind the scenes with the likes of Willie Hockey and Celts for Change and other people to try and force out Dermot Desmond? It's interesting. Celtic Business Club PLC is owned by Dermot Desmond. He can post what he likes on the official site. And then you click onto this, and we all remember this statement. It was a statement from Dermot Desmond regarding Brendan Rodgers on the 27th of October 2025, which took us into the dark period that was last season, and how we managed to resurrect our season after this kind of statement. Brendan Rodgers has today tendered his resignation as manager of Celtic Football Club. I want to acknowledge Brendan's contribution across his 2 spells as a manager. Anyway, when we brought back Brendan back to Celtic 2 years ago, it was done with complete trust and belief in his ability to lead the club of a new era, sustained success. Unfortunately, his conduct and communication in recent months have not reflected that trust. In June, anyway, we remember it. We met with Brendan regularly, including last December, and at the start of the summer, with dialogue between the discuss and agree our collective strategies and priorities and approach. Every player signed and every player sold during his tenure was done with Brendan's full knowledge and approval. Endorsement and any insinuation otherwise is absolutely false. His public statements about transfers, club operations came entirely out of the blue, and at no point prior to those remarks had he raised any concerns with me, Michael, or any member of the board or executive team. Anyway, that is Celts for Change that are highlighting a lot of Dermot Desmond. They seem to be back on the front. My dad says you've all to fuck off. The Bank of Celtic. It's a momentous time in all the organisations. Everybody knows how I feel. I think there's too many organisations. I think that we all need to come under one umbrella, but it's never going to happen. It's not the way that the Celtic fan base are collectively. They'll never be able to come under the. It's not like the 1990s. Social media and all these websites and everything it gives everyone their own individual platform. But the fact that Celts for Change are starting to target Dermot Desmond specifically and only, they're the only organisation that know if you need change, if you want change at Celtic, you have to cut off the link to the Dermot Desmond family. Because even though they don't own the club, being the biggest shareholder, he shouldn't have. Shows you the set of balls that we don't have within the boardroom. Because the boardroom should be turning around and saying, mate, you don't own the club. You're the biggest shareholder, but you don't own the club. Anyway, Celtic Business Club PLC. I like it the way that they're calling this, the business club. Celtic Business Club PLC is owned by Dermot Desmond. Every pound generated by the club is reinvested towards those goals of the continuous improvement of the Celtic Business Club. Fact, positive balance of 60 million for the past 3 years. Positive balance. And then they go to that statement. Celtic Business Club PLC is owned by Dermot Desmond and he hates the customers. You see where this is going? I'm actually excited about this. I'm more excited about this than I am the Willie Hockey thing, because the Willie Hockey, he's too friendly. But then is Willie Hockey the snake on the board that we need at the club to oust Dermot Desmond? Is he the man in the back room with a knife in the back of Dermot Desmond to bring his tenure at Celtic to an end? The Celtic Business Club PLC is owned by Dermot Desmond. We all share the same ambition to ensure Celtic's continued success domestically and to achieve further success in Europe. Fact, Fergus left them an inbuilt advantage of 10,000 plus seats and 3 sides of the stadium done domestically is akin to playing under 18s in an under 12 league. We have failed 7 times out of 9 to qualify for the Champions League. That's a damning indictment on the tenure of Dermot Desmond. I'm going to sneeze. Bless me. And then they go on. For an old one from the 1990s, a history lesson for the young. And if you know your history, a madcap comedy playout of previous Sack the Board era and the Pavilion Theatre. Seven hours ago, by hook or crook, Celtic Business PLC is owned by Dermot Desmond. Martin O'Neill says it is the board allowed it to happen. It is. The board allowed Dermot Desmond to have far too much a say in what's going on at Celtic. And it shows that the board are weak. And that's the Celts for change. Celtic Football Club is much more than a football club. To a lot of people, it's a way of life, Robert Kelly. Anyway, that's just a bit of an update on that type of stuff that's going on. I found it interesting. And it's always the same, that this organisation is probably one of the organisations with the lowest following on the land of Twitterati. But it is what it is, isn't it? Anyway, let's get back to football. I've been banging the drum about this for ages. Perhaps we perhaps know a bit more about the Desmonds here in Ireland. Would Nicholson and co have the freedom to be competent anyway? No. Yeah, Patrick, the people of Ireland are very wary of Dermot Desmond and co, and rightly so. And I think that going forward, it will be interesting to see how much pressure. And will pressure also come from Ireland? Because he is quite a feared man. Dermot Desmond was right about Rodgers, even if he was wrong about many other things. We had a Celtic man in the boardroom in Lawwell. He stood up to Desmond. He got chased out by the fans. 5 years later, it's proved how much he did for the club. Not a fan, but credit where it's due. I've said that already. Do we miss Peter Lawwell? At least Peter Lawwell came out and he would speak to the media. He would speak to the fans in public. He would speak to, he would do press stuff. We've got a board that, as far as they're concerned, they're just yes men for Dermot Desmond, and they don't have to say anything. Dermot is now running Celtic like one of his own little toys. Looking forward to today's game. Feeling positive, says Helen. Yes, I'm feeling positive to do it as well. I'm feeling, it's going to be an exciting game. It's going to be good to see grass pitch at Kilmarnock, and it'll be interesting to see how they play this afternoon. What's the best? Dermot Desmond and family have business deals with dodgy Israelis. Thank you, Mark. Why can't we wrap up the Hassan deal? It's been 4 weeks. We've been ironing out the final details for 3 days now. Yeah, he didn't play yesterday. I think that there seems to be an inability for Celtic to do anything at the weekend. I think that Michael Nicholson goes, right, okay, that's fine. So we've got all that done and dusted. I'll speak to you on Monday when I'm back in the office. Leaving other teams going, what? I don't think that Michael Nicholson works weekends at all. And like when he's at the games, but even when he's at the games, he's not working. He's just there taking the piss, isn't he? Dermot votes on business on the bonuses being paid to them, Baz. Yeah. Please stop this Eddie Howe nonsense. What is wrong with you people? There is absolutely no way Would Celtic go back to Eddie Howe? And why are you all chasing Martin O'Neill out the door? Okay, he's had a little bit of a ticky heart, but don't break my heart, my achy breaky heart. Martin O'Neill's not going anywhere. I'm going to make up a song now. You don't want me singing. They've heard the cattle. They've parked the bus all week. Yeah, I know that. Ross Desmond is visibly knew the power of a united fan base. Martin O'Neill is old age divide and conquer. Yeah, I think Martin O'Neill is here to just divide and conquer, shut up the fans and then take it from there. Anyway, we couldn't afford Eddie Howe, to be honest. I'm not wanting Eddie Howe. He you know, people that say fucking bring Eddie Howe to the club are absolutely bonkers. He pissed Celtic about for months and months and months. Anyway, right, how long have we been on this morning? Because I am back on in an hour and a half to do the team reveal this morning, and I ain't doing a watch along today. I'm going to watch it in the house, I think. Celtic news wise, it is very, very quiet. Martin O'Neill must be the leak. There we go. I've said it in public. Martin O'Neill must be the leak because it's been quiet all week when it comes to anything to do with Celtic transfers. There we go, Martin. You won't like that being said. Why is the team news 11 a.m, not 12 noon? Is it? I need to double check that. Because I scheduled everything before I went live here, and now that's why I'm leaving to go and sort it all out. Anyway, that's me done and dusted for this morning, and I'll have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, and I'll see you in an hour or so, whenever it is. No watch along, but that's why. Big Rab, did you miss that video? If not, you need to go back and watch it. I told people I wasn't doing watch alongs this season until important games. Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are.